Looks like we're going to be joined by Bob Bradley momentarily. Again, if you guys have a question, please make sure to use the raise your hand button. We will be using ASAP transcribing services again, so we'll send those out immediately after the press conference. If you normally do not receive email communication from us, you can drop your email in the chat, and I will make sure to include you moving forward. Any questions for Bob, you can go ahead and raise your hand now. We'll try to get to as many as we can. And we're now joined by head coach Bob Bradley. Hello, Bob. If you want to start off by giving us your thoughts on the match, and then we'll take some questions.
Thanks, Aubrey. Good team win. And when I say team, it's not just the guys that played today. It's everybody, because in this last stretch, everybody's been called on. Different guys have stepped up. We've kept training at a good level. It was really nice to get some different guys back today. It's never easy to break down a team when they go down a man and defend with everybody behind the ball. I think there were moments when our use of touches and our ability to move the ball quicker, mix up our passes could have been better, but ultimately we created some good opportunities, took advantage, and we're satisfied with that.
Thank you. First question is going to go to kbaxter. Go ahead, Kevin.
Hey, Bob, thanks for your time. Kind of about what you just said. I mean, you've used, I think, 26 players this year. A lot of guys probably didn't expect to get that many minutes, quality minutes. And I'm wondering, A, how this prepares you going forward as you get ready for the playoffs. Guys have now a lot of experience and confidence, but now you're getting guys back. Carlos is back. I assume Mark Anthony is close. Now you got your first team guys back, rested, and guys on the bench with a lot of confidence and experience. It seems like a perfect setup for you guys.
We're hoping to be at our best as we move forward here. There's still a ways to go. The reminder is to keep pushing training every day, make sure everybody's challenging teammates, encouraging teammates, and that there's always room to improve in little ways. So, I'm satisfied that there's enough guys that lead the way and push those thoughts, and we're hoping that we can kind of build on this game when we play Houston midweek and try to go into the playoffs in a good way in terms of the way we're playing and also in terms of confidence.
Thank you, Kevin. We're going to go to Salvador Pérez next. Go ahead, Salvador.
Thanks, Aubrey. Hi, Bob. How are you?
Good, Salvador.
Congratulations on the victory. Bob, you were talking about Carlos and the development of the team, but what you can tell us about Carlos Vela return? He went off the bench and he scored a goal, and the confidence that the goal can give to Carlos and also for the team, because all the players get positive ways for the team, but the confidence that the goal of Carlos Vela can give to the club.
It means a lot to everybody that Carlos not only gets back on the field after being out for a while, but then scores an excellent goal. It's been really good just to have him back in training. There's been a lot this year. Carlos, in the midst of everything, though, the great news is still the family news and the birth of his daughter. So everybody has supported him throughout the process, and we're excited to get him back every day and keep trying to push him and have him really finish the season in a great way.
We're going to go to Alicia Rodriguez next. Go ahead, Alicia.
Thank you. Bob, I wanted to ask about the other goal scorer, Danny. He really seems like he's coming into his own. He seems like he's hit a good vein of form recently. And, is he pushing for even more playing time, even with some of the key players coming back up top?
We're so pleased with Danny's development this year. He's picked up ideas. You see, he's got a really good set of skills as a striker. He moves with the ball. He scores different kind of goals. He's good in the air. He's a two-footed striker, so he's got an ability to score when he's moving left or right. And I think some of his ideas in terms of moving, understanding how he can come off of defenders and create different advantages. You throw a lot of different things, and every striker's got a slightly different range of abilities. And so we've tried to help Danny understand the things that he can do and help him figure out how to apply those things in a game. And it's been nice to see his contribution and just the way others believe in him. That's been a really important development.
We're going to go to Max Bretos next. Go ahead, Max.
Thank you, Aubrey. Hello, Bob. Good afternoon. Two-parter. First of all, obviously Tristan Blackman with Carlos returning and the internationals kind of gets put off the radar a bit, but a frustrating injury for him. What was it like, do you think, from that process for him to get back into being able to play? And also with everyone returning of that, the six guys that got to get back into it, what's the team spirit been like knowing that everyone's there and available?
Just getting guys back has been a big boost. Makes training better. It means that there's real competition always for guys to get on the field. Tristan worked very hard throughout this process, and we're happy for him. You know, he had a stretch early on where I didn't think his confidence was at the highest level. We started to find ways to play him more and more in the center. Because when we started this season, our idea was that he would be more of a center back. He's still someone that we count on also as a right back. Everyone knows that. But getting him back on the field, we've worked a little bit where we then move Eddie Segura up as a 6. That just gives us a different way to go about things. So with about 15 minutes left, we thought that was a good way to finish the game. And I thought guys handled the final the final part of the game in a smart, good way.
We're going to go to Katya Castorina next. Go ahead, Katya.
Thanks, Aubrey. Bob, you were talking about Carlos and how it is to have him back. I know it's been a difficult time for everybody, also for him and the family side that you mentioned, but what can you describe of how he is every day in training and then how he worked to get back and just seeing him, come back those 20 minutes and have that amazing finish, kind of picking up where he left, and we know the talent that he has, but what can you say about how he prepares for this moment?
With everything behind him, he's excited. He's always in a good mood, and I've said so many times over the last 3 years that his personality is his sense of humor, just his all-around good way is important in terms of the chemistry of our group. He's a leader in a really positive way. And then when you get him back and MCL injuries are a challenge because even as you make progress, even as you're doing things on the side, the final bit of confidence that comes from doing things in a game, going in for balls, how you strike certain balls, that takes time. You never know exactly how long that last step takes in terms of confidence. But it's good to see him. We push him every day. He's still a guy that needs to be challenged and pushed in training. So I always talk about the fact that he comes in a good way, but he's also hard work too. So getting him to push harder in training, sprint more, be dynamic, and not just be a player that plays in a low gear. For him to be at his best, I think he trusts that when we're on him in those ways, it's to help him.
We'll go to John Rojas next. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Aubrey. Bob, you mentioned already how hard it was to break down a team with 10 men, but did you see two different games there? One 11 versus 11 and the other one 11 versus 10. I mean, it was different LAFC and a different LA Galaxy after that?
No, I think from the start, we took the initiative. They were organized even when they had 11 guys, a lot of guys behind the ball. So, of course, when they go down a man, they make the tactical change. They take Gonzalez off. They play Pavone as the top player. It takes away certainly something from the attack, but their overall way of defending against us, where they defend deep, where they work very hard, they're always committed in those ways, and that's something that we speak about before we play them.
We'll go to Gio Garcia next. Go ahead, Gio.
Hey, Bob. Congrats on the win today. I know due to the circumstances, there's been a lot of different changes, and you've had a couple players step up on the defensive end. Today you had Jordan Harvey, El Munir. When do you think you're going to have your last set of four in the back line, or is it just going to be on a week-to-week basis?
Yeah, I think it's to be determined. It's nice that now we've got more options. I would also mention on a day like today, that even though he's only been here a short time, Jesus Murillo adds some real stability in the center. Smart, reads things, makes good passes. But the flexibility is important, and it says a lot about different guys. I mean, Mohamed Munir playing as a right back, but has given us a couple of good games. And I know Mo's a guy that everybody really likes. It hasn't always gone exactly his way, and the rest of his teammates are always excited to see him contribute.
And last question is going to go to Josue Lopez. Go ahead, Josue.
Hey, Bob, congratulations on the win. Having Carlos back and making a quick impact with a spectacular goal, is the team in the level where you want it to be, perhaps in the right time before playoffs? And correct me if I'm wrong, is this the first time that you start Edward, Sifu, and Pancho at the midfield? What are your thoughts on their performance?
There's been so many changes in the midfield this year. I don't remember if it's the first time that we started that three. you could check on that. But certainly in training, we worked different midfields, and I thought those guys played well. Edward missed also an important stretch of the season, and regaining confidence and sharpness takes a little bit of work for him. Pancho and Sifu are young players that we were excited to work with. Both have developed this year, contributed, given us some really positive games. So that part is something that we also feel good about. It also means that there's real competition in the midfield. And that's something that we think is important as a team. The training is at a high level and that we can push things. Overall, no, we're not yet at our best. When you have guys that have been out for a long time, it would be impossible that they come back and in the first game or two are at their best. That would be impossible. Even a few minutes ago, I mentioned Edward and in his return to play after the injury versus Orlando. It's taken him a while to get back to the best level that he can play. So we've got to keep pushing things along. Can't get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, Bob, we'll end it there. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Looks like we're about to be joined momentarily by Danny Masovsky. If you have a question for Danny, please raise your hand. Okay, we had a quick switch up. We're going to be joined by Eddie Segura first. My bad there. If you guys have a question for Eddie Segura, please raise your hand at this time. Hola, Eddie.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
If you just want to start off and you can speak in Spanish, or Diego, you can help if you're in there. Just have him give us thoughts on the match, and then we'll take a few questions.
Bueno, un partido que sabíamos todo lo que genera, es un clásico, es un partido que se juega con mucha intensidad, con muchas ganas. Y bueno, por ahí la expulsión de ellos cambió mucho el partido. Obviamente, pues todavía estábamos como entrando en el trámite, estábamos tratando de imponer nuestro juego y la expulsión de ellos yo creo que les pone más dificultad hacia el trabajo que tenían que hacer. Bueno, nosotros teníamos que aprovechar esa desventaja, teníamos que más aún imponer nuestro juego. Yo creo que lo hicimos y bueno, tuvimos esa linda victoria que nos empieza a afianzar un poquito más.
And we're going to go to John Rojas first. Go ahead, John.
Thanks, Ari. Eddie, dos cosas. La primera sería, ¿qué tan diferente fue LAFC jugando contra 11 y jugando contra 10? Y la otra, en la jugada previa al gol, obviamente, hay una jugada que aparentemente es un tiro de esquina. ¿Cómo la vieron ustedes desde atrás?
Bueno, yo creo que nosotros siempre, cada partido salimos al frente, salimos a proponer nuestra idea, tratamos de imponernos como equipo con nuestro estilo. Y yo creo que lo estábamos haciendo con 11 contra 11, lo estábamos haciendo. Incluso tuvimos ahí un par de jugadas donde pues fue parte de que se generó la expulsión de ellos. Así que nada, nuestra mentalidad siempre es la misma, tratar de imponernos, tratar de mantener nuestro estilo, de hacer lo que sabemos y lo que nos ha dado resultado. Así que siempre con la misma actitud. Yo creo que obviamente pues cuando hay un poco de desventaja hay que aprovecharlo. Tratamos de meterle un poco más de intensidad a lo que normalmente lo hacemos y bueno, salió todo bien. Y con la jugada, pues la verdad no alcanzo a ver si sale completamente. Es una jugada muy rápida y donde voy rápido hacia el balón, así que no alcanzo a ver. Seguro con toda la tecnología y con todo lo que miraron, fue que no se fue y pues por eso nos dan el gol.
And we'll go to Katia Castorena next. Go ahead, Katia.
Thanks, Aubrey. Eddie, ¿qué significa ver a compañeros que se han podido reincorporar, tenerlos de regreso? ¿Se sienten más fuertes en ese sentido? Hoy regresa Carlos en la recta final del partido y vuelve a encontrar un gol un poquito a como nos ha tenido acostumbrados.
Bueno, es lindo tener a todos de vuelta. Obviamente cada uno de nosotros, cada uno de los compañeros que tuvo la oportunidad estaba preparado, la aprovechó al máximo. Y bueno, obviamente cuando estamos todos completos, se siente el peso de ellos porque cada jugador, cada uno aporta sus grandes condiciones y somos felices de estar todos juntos, de luchar por el mismo objetivo y bueno, cada uno está comprometido hacia lo mismo.
We'll go to Enrique Gutierrez next. Go ahead, Enrique.
Thank you, Aubrey. Eddie, buenas tardes, felicidades por el triunfo. La pregunta, no sé si me escuchas.
Está todo bien, muchas gracias.
Sí, ¿cómo fue para ti jugar con Murillo en la central? Desde mi punto de vista, me podría atrever a decir que me parecía que te sentías incluso un poco más libre en ciertos movimientos. ¿Cómo ha sido el entendimiento con él? Y simplemente para reiterar lo de la jugada del gol, tú en algún momento, en la jugada esa de que parecía que se fue la pelota tiro de esquina, incluso tú volteaste a ver al asistente del árbitro. ¿Tú dudaste en algún momento que esa pelota efectivamente salió completamente o que estaba dentro del terreno de juego?
Bueno, me siento muy bien con Muri, todos los compañeros, la verdad que estamos haciendo para que él se adapte rápido. Yo creo que lo ha hecho bastante bien. Con sus capacidades, con sus virtudes, se ha ido acomodando al equipo, es un gran jugador, estamos felices de que esté con nosotros, al igual de que estamos felices con cada compañero que tenemos, cada uno sabe el trabajo que tiene que hacer, cuando tiene la oportunidad, cada uno está demostrando y ayudándonos para ir hacia el mismo camino. Y bueno, la jugada pues es algo muy dudosa porque es algo muy rápido, yo no alcanzo a ver que se va completamente, pero igual miro el árbitro para ver si cobró o si qué decidió, para yo poder jugar o para parar. Así que cuando veo que se juega, sigo hacia adelante y bueno, gracias a Dios ahí se consiguió el gol también.
And we'll go to Salvador Pérez next. Go ahead, Salvador.
Thanks, Aubrey. Eddie, ¿cómo estás? Un gusto saludarte. Espero esté todo bien. Oye, Eddie, por ahí hablaba un poco Guillermo, el técnico de LA Galaxy, hablaba hace unos momentos que el tema del VAR, el tema del gol, cambia un poco el rumbo del partido, que es un antes y un después en el resultado del partido, que incluso el LA Galaxy había pasado de ser un equipo ofensivo a un equipo que se estaba defendiendo. A tu percepción, ¿cómo viste lo que fue el desarrollo del partido y obviamente por cómo termina concluyendo el juego para el LAFC?
Bueno, yo creo que desde el principio tratamos de imponer nuestro juego, tratamos de dominar con la pelota, de imponernos. Creo que hubo un punto de quiebre clave que es la expulsión de ellos, pero aparte de eso es en lo mismo, nosotros tratando de imponer nuestro juego, tratando de hacer muy buenas jugadas y se dio esa muy buena jugada que terminó siendo una jugada dudosa porque no se sabía si era penal o si era tiro libre. Se termina expulsando el jugador de ellos, fue un punto importante porque pues teníamos que aprovechar la ventaja. Ya en el segundo tiempo, o mejor dicho, desde ahí sabíamos que teníamos la ventaja de que teníamos ese hombre de más, quisimos imponer mucho ritmo, mucha intensidad. Por ahí generamos un poco o varias situaciones de goles donde el balón pues no ingresó, pero bueno, termina en una jugada rápida, en una transición rápida, terminamos haciendo nuestro primer gol y yo creo que fue también otro punto de quiebre importante para nosotros porque ya nos daba la tranquilidad de ir arriba en el marcador, también la tranquilidad del hombre menos de ellos y sabíamos que teníamos que seguir por el mismo camino buscando esa intensidad para así encontrar más espacios y tener más chances de gol.
We will end it there. Thank you so much, Eddie. We're going to be joined by Danny Masowski next. If you have a question for Danny, hi. If you have a question for Danny, please feel free to raise your hand at this time. Hi, Danny. Christian, we'll go ahead and start with you. If you want to ask your question, you can unmute your line. Christian, go ahead.
Thanks, Aubrey. Hey, Danny. Can you talk about what kind of run you saw when you saw the ball get into the midfield and when you saw the goalie out? What went through your mind and finishing that play?
Yeah, Diego got the ball pretty deep in our half, and I knew that we had a lot of space to run in behind. And he played a great ball, and I just kind of looked up and I saw the keeper was coming out. So, in those scenarios as a striker, you need to chip that because it's hard to, you don't really have time to hit a window or hit it in the corner. So I just tried to lift it up, and yeah, went in.
We'll go to Alicia Rodriguez next. Go ahead, Alicia.
Thank you. Danny, congrats on the goal. When we talked to you the other day, you said that you think this rivalry is the biggest in MLS. You got the goal, obviously, to win it. Does it feel a little bit sweeter because of that? And, how pumped were you to get that goal today?
Of course, whenever you could score in a derby game, that's big time. We know that the fans want us to win this game so much. And yeah, to get the goal to win the game. And yeah, it's a good feeling.
We'll go to Ivan Yo next. Go ahead, Ivan.
Hey, Danny, congratulations on the goal and the win. Well, speaking of the fan, you mentioned the fans, and I don't know if you were with them, but you guys, after the game, went out to the gate area and acknowledged them, those that were outside. I mean, how important was that for you guys, and how much you guys appreciate that, they're still supporting, you're still with you guys?
Yeah, we appreciate that so much. That was so awesome, to see something like that. There was so many of them, and they were just cheering us, and singing, and that was a special moment for me and for the team. To see that we've been missing their support. Obviously, the fans, they mean so much to this club, and to see that, that was just a really special feeling.
We'll go to Gio Garcia next. Go ahead, Gio.
Hey, Danny, congrats on scoring your goal today. With so much offensive talent with this team, and obviously Bob Bradley just came on here and he just talked about how great you are with both feet. When did you find out that you were going to start over BWP, who's been essentially the starting striker for this team?
You could kind of piece it together in training when we are playing games, but I found out the day before the game. Bob was just telling us the lineup, so that's when I found out. Yeah.
And last question is going to go to Josue Lopez. Go ahead, Josue.
Hey, Danny, congratulations on the goal in the win. Following up on Gio's question, what was your initial reaction when you saw your name on the starting lineup? We know this is such an important game. And second, the team has you, BWP, Carlos returning with a spectacular goal. How important is to have so many strikers in a good momentum for the whole team?
Yeah, I think right now is when we want to hit our stride, to get all these, the guys back from injury and guys back from international break. And then the guys, when they were gone, contributing. We all want to be, hitting on all cylinders right now. And of course, I want to start. I think every player on the team, everyone in that locker room wants to start. That's what makes training so competitive, and that's what keeps a good environment in the team when everyone's competing and everyone wants to be the best. So that's good, and we have a lot of offensive weapons on this team. And like I said, we want to hit stride now when it's most important, these last few games, and then going into playoffs.
Thank you.
Thanks, Danny. We'll end it there.
Thank you, guys.
That will conclude the press conference for this afternoon. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah.